Hello friends, I'd like to take this time to thank you all for your support. It seems like this journey began only yesterday. Here we are 3 months later, and we've visited shops and shows and met some great collectors and talented artists. We've even seen a mock 80s commercial as promised, and you've even learned a couple of things about me. We recently surpassed 100 subscribers, which is not an easy task. Rest assured folks, there is a lot more great content to come. Your support inspires me to keep churning out content for as long as you're willing to watch. With that being said, I'd like to take the time to share a slightly more in-depth look at my recent visit to Monsterpalooza. Monsterpalooza is an event which occurs twice a year in Southern California. The main show occurs in the spring, while the smaller version of the show, aka Son of Monsterpalooza, occurs in the fall. Guys, gals, and ghouls gather to see and meet some of the best talent the genre has to offer. Sculptors, illustrators, filmmakers, you name it, all cram up the convention floors to showcase their latest offerings, as well as to interact with their eager fans. There's so many things to see, and it's likely you'll spend the whole day here and still not catch a glimpse of everything. That being said, a weekend pass is highly recommended. As an artist, I make it a point to spend some extra time marveling at some of the incredible work on display, from students to many of the industry's seasoned pros who are all out there displaying their personal works. You may even catch some clay slinging on the showroom floor. My favorite part of this show is the shopping. Several artists sell their work alongside dealers from all over, from movies to memorabilia, custom creations to toys, and much, much more. This is one of the greatest places to find all things horror related. The proof is in who you may find shopping alongside you. If you missed out, don't despair, folks. Son of Monsterpalooza returns this fall and is just as great. So I want to take this time to share some of the things that I picked up this year at Monsterpalooza. I really enjoy building things, painting things, so of course I picked up a couple of resin heads. These were a little rough and they were being sold fairly cheap. As you can see, my son and I have already painted these two. I also picked up some of these monster scenes, which are sort of a reissue of the Aurora models. The packaging in these things is gorgeous. These have been reissued and recast by a company known as Dencom, and they're actually taken from the original Aurora molds. I was able to pick up the dungeon and the animal pit. Although some of the figures in this line are a little hard to find, I've thought about buying some of the Universal Horror reaction figures to put in there. Really, one of my favorite finds of the show is this Zombies at War package of 35 plastic figures. Part of me wants to leave them in the package because I love how they look in the package, and then part of me wants to take a few of these out and paint them. Maybe build a nice little diorama or something like that. Also, I found a vendor who was selling a couple of pretty cool toys. She had a lot of vintage stuff. She had a handful of muscle figures. Anytime I find these at a reasonable price, I try to pick them up. I also picked up some movies from Vinegar Syndrome and Severin Films. So that's about it for this edition of the Magnificent World of Toys. We hope that you enjoyed our trip to Monsterpalooza, and may those who play never gray. Thank you.